Salute and welcome to the Stories and Cocktails podcast, where you'll enjoy an entertaining short story from acclaimed humor columnist Rob Krider. Story time is the family portion of the show. Then we move on from the stories to the cocktails. This is where the alcohol and the not safe for work portion of the show takes over, as Rob and his wife /editor /muse Sara Krider are taking some adult beverages to provide you with a behind-the-scenes recap of what really inspired the original story. Put your feet up, relax, and enjoy yourself a round of stories and cocktails. Cheers.
This story is called A Hairy Situation by Rob Krider. Hey, that's me. The other morning, my 5th grade daughter woke up and realized she didn't like the length of her bangs. She decided to go ahead and give them a little trim. Then she didn't like that her bangs were crooked, so she trimmed them some more. Then she thought they were a bit too short, so she trimmed them some more. The bangs were still crooked, so she went at her hair with scissors and a vengeance. When she was done, the bathroom counter was covered in hair, her forehead was covered with a crooked set of super short bangs, and her face was covered with tears. After this display of intelligence, I had to ask myself, who isn't smarter than a 5th grader? All this went down while my wife and I were still in bed. We were making spoons, and I was breathing morning breath over my wife's shoulder and directly into her nostrils. She's such a lucky lady. Our daughter, the impromptu hairstylist, came crashing into our room sobbing. My wife took one look at our daughter's bangs, or what was left of them, and jumped out of bed. "Honey, what did you do to your hair?" Our daughter couldn't answer. She just cried and cried. My wife said, "Why did you think this was a good idea to cut your own hair?" There was no answer from our little angel, just harder and sadder crying. It was a bad situation. I could see that my wife and my daughter were about to begin an epic battle. I went to my tried and trusted move and used my possum defense by faking I was asleep. I didn't need to get involved in this nightmare of scissors, tempers, and bang length. I figured it was a girl thing, and I would let my wife, whom I love, handle it. The two girls headed into the bathroom, and what little patience my wife had began to quickly dissolve. "Look at all this hair on the counter. Why'd you think this was a good idea?" My daughter tried to answer. "I don't know. I just wanted to fix my bangs." The word bangs was more of a slurred, drawn-out wail that segued into an endless crying fit. "Bangs!" I could hear the snot and the tears from my bedroom. I lay as still as possible and tried to slow my heart rate so no one could see my breathing. The pitch of my daughter's crying and my wife's endless questions of why, made it impossible for anyone in our house to actually be asleep. Regardless, I stayed in my bed. My son did the exact same in his room. I've taught him well. I heard my wife and my daughter begin to strategize how to fix the bang debacle before school started that day. My wife said she could trim her bangs a little more to try to straighten them. I thought this was funny because from my experience working with wood, I've known for years that you can cut and recut the same piece of wood 3 different times, but if it was too short to begin with, it's always going to be too short. My wife and my daughter were learning this the hard way, and it was getting closer and closer to the time to leave for school. More hair fell onto the countertop, and so did more tears. "Stop crying. You do this to yourself," my wife would say. "I want to stay home from school today," my daughter pleaded. "Your hair will still look like this tomorrow." My daughter cried, "I want to stay home from school for a month then." My wife wasn't having it. "You're not staying home. You will go to school. No one's going to notice your bangs." Of course, nobody was going to notice my daughter's bangs because after my wife fixed my daughter's hair, my daughter had no bangs left to notice. The two girls debated different hair accessories to try to disguise the lack of bangs. Some sunglasses on the forehead, a bandana, a hat, a Hannah Montana wig. None of these ideas were satisfying my daughter. No matter what, she couldn't be consoled. Based on her emotional breakdown, it was obvious that her new bangs were going to destroy her life socially for the rest of days. She probably wouldn't get a date to the prom 7 years from now due to that one fateful day in the 5th grade when her bangs were goofy. Guys never have this sort of problem. We get a bad haircut? No sweat. Shave the head. Obviously, shaving my daughter's head was not an option, unless we were looking to get some sympathy from people who thought she might have cancer. My daughter pleaded, "I don't want to go to school. Everyone's going to laugh at me." My wife only gave more denials. "You're going to school. Nobody's going to notice." I really didn't want to get involved, but I had to go to the bathroom so badly that I couldn't fake sleep anymore. I tried to sneak into the commode, but I couldn't get there quietly. My wife caught me and said, "Tag, you're it. You handle this." I took care of my morning business and headed into my kid's bathroom, where my daughter was still staring in the mirror and crying. I knew no matter how bad it looked, I couldn't openly laugh. I had to be a reassuring and supportive parent. My wife had already played bad cop on the hair issue. It was my place to play good cop. I walked in and saw my little girl. Her bangs were a complete disaster. The poor thing. I asked my little girl, "Is there anything I can do to make you feel better? A new outfit or something to distract you from your bangs?" My daughter stopped crying and quickly answered, "A brand new iPod Touch would distract from my bangs. People would probably just look at the earphone cord instead of my hair." Okay. "Thank you, Daddy. I want a pink one." And this, folks, is how little girls get spoiled. By the way, when my daughter grows up, she wants to go to beauty school.
Okay, folks, it's time to pop that top and let's get to those cocktails.
Hey, welcome to Stories and Cocktails Roadshow. We are coming to you from Seattle, Washington, home of the Seattle Mariners. We're going to catch a Mariners game today, part of our 30 ballparks tour.
Yes.
You're rocking a gorgeous-looking Mariners t-shirt because you go to every game and you wear a different shirt for the home team for 29 of the 30 ballparks. One particular ballpark, you will not be wearing the home team shirt.
I will not be wearing the home team shirt. And I wear the home team shirt because at the end, everyone's like, "Oh, what are you collecting from each ballpark?" Like I have a friend who she collects a baseball from each ballpark. I'm collecting all the t-shirts that I wore because I'm going to make a t-shirt quilt.
That's cool.
Now, ask me if I know how to quilt.
Yeah, don't get marred up in the details here. Now, what particular jersey are you not going to have? You're going to have 29 of 30.
Yeah.
Which jersey is it you're not going to have?
Fuck the Dodgers.
The dirty Dodgers.
Dirty Dodgers.
We're not wearing no fucking Dodgers blue, y'all.
So here's what I did, though. We are going to go to Dodger Stadium this summer. So
To see them play our team.
Yeah, we're checking that
The
out.
Giants. The Gigantes.
So we found a game that's Dodgers versus the Giants. Now, not only would I not ever wear Dodger blue, but I'm certainly not going to fucking wear Dodger blue when they're playing the Giants, right?
Oh, no.
But I still want the t-shirt to commemorate?
Yeah.
Commemorate that particular visit.
Commemorate.
So-
much better than commiserating.
Yes. So I bought a Giants t-shirt that says basically, beat LA.
No, it says don't be a dick.
Well, yeah, it actually, okay, so instead of me wearing the Dodgers t-shirt, I bought a t-shirt that has a picture of a dude wearing a Dodgers t-shirt, and then it says, meet Dick. Dick's a Dodgers fan. Don't be a dick. But it's all in orange. So
Orange and black. It's cool.
it will be the Dodgers t-shirt on the blanket, but
You're not giving the dirty Dodgers any money.
oh, fuck no.
In fact, we're not even paying for those tickets. Our friends, our Dodgers fans, they bought the tickets for us, and we're not going
Well,
to pay them back.
I told her.
We're not doing it. I'm not giving those Dodgers any fucking money.
I'm a payer back.
Hey, I am drinking a cherry Coke cocktail made
Oh.
by you. Delicious. You're drinking a Ramosa, it looks like.
Yeah.
Because it's morning.
Do you want to know what happened when I had to go down and get your Diet Coke?
I do want to know what happened when you went down to get my Diet Coke
So-
at the
The gift shop.
Embassy Suites in Seattle.
Yeah, so we were out of Diet Coke. So I said, hey, I'll head down to the gift shop. I'll get some Diet Coke so that I can make you a cherry Coke cocktail.
Was there a homeless person in there?
No. So I went downstairs. No harm, no foul. I got the Diet Cokes. I'm getting back on the elevator. As I am getting on the elevator, this family is coming off. And it's dad and mom and then like a teenage kid. And they are loaded to the gills. They have like a luggage cart, right? And this luggage cart, they look like us rolling into a place. You know what I mean?
They
Where you're
moved
just-
in for a week.
Yeah, where you're
and
just
they're
like,
here for
what?
one night.
What the fuck? Why do you have so much luggage?
How could you need all that shit?
And so the luggage cart is up to the gills. Mom's trying to help, like I would try to help, but she's just ultimately in the way. Dad's
Yep.
like kind of pushing her out, like get out. And then the luggage cart kind of like tips a little bit.
Uh-oh.
And then you hear mom go like, and like leap forward, like she's gonna save it. And dad's just like, dude, it's just the suspension. Like nothing is falling. Like get the fuck out of the way. I mean, he didn't say that, but all of this was happening, right? So all of this is happening.
Well, Dad's feeling a little bit of social pressure. Like, listen,
Yes.
honey, the doors have opened. We have just a few seconds to get out of
Yeah.
this elevator. We can't dilly fuck around
Right.
the luggage cart. And you can't help anyways because you got a girl brain and you don't know how this shit works.
Oh,
so
and-
get the fuck out of the way.
And I want you to know that I was not doing a kindly, courteous service of like alleviating any of that pressure.
Hey, they got a lot going on. Let's
No,
give them some pressure.
I was
Give 'em some
crowding the
time.
elevator. I started pushing the button like as if me pushing the button.
Why would you do that?
I was tapping my foot. No, I wasn't doing all that, but that's fucking funny. I was doing that in my head. In my head.
Like, get your shit together, family. Get the fuck out of the
In my
elevator.
head, I was like, come on. Come on. Let's get this fucking show on the road, right? So I get in the elevator, and now another gentleman has come with me, and he gets in the elevator with me, right? We get in the elevator door shuts, and I was like, oh, in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, it just fucking smells like farts in here. Like, it is so bad, right? So I'm like looking around.
Like,
and
it's not me, buddy.
Yeah, I look at the other guy, and he is making the same face he is just making this face like he just fucking smells farts too. So I start laughing, and I go, okay, you smell it too, right? And he's all, oh yeah. He's like, they definitely crop dusted the crap out of this place before they left. He actually said that. He's like, they crop dusted
Well, in
us.
that dad's defense,
Oh, this is
he's
exactly what I
stressed
said.
out.
Yep.
His fucking wife is not helping. See, when I'm in the middle, we're like, everybody line up, doors open, follow the cart. I'm pushing the cart. Don't touch the fucking cart. I'm balancing shit. We're going to go.
Yeah.
And then if you start trying to help for the first time in your goddamn life, help with the luggage cart when we're trying to get out of a small door. Also, it's a narrow door, big luggage cart. We all can't go out at the same time. It's like a fucking cartoon, right?
No,
Like, just wait. Dad's going to start farting. He's like, oh, shit. This dumb bitch.
Now, see, you and I are on the exact same page because when he said, "Oh yeah, they crop dusted the crap out of this elevator," then I said, "Well, it was the stress of that luggage cart, man. Like I don't blame the guy. Like those are just stress farts coming out." But they obviously did not have a choreographed exit plan like we have. Like,
Right.
you know, you're like, you get in first, you stand right here, you push the button, now you stay. Now, when we exit, I will turn this way, you do. Like, you
Well,
always
not only that,
have
I know the luggage cart has
choreographed
only
exit
one
plan.
set of wheels that are on casters. So I will push the luggage cart in so we can exit quickly and easily.
That's what got
I'm
them.
paying attention to the caster direction.
That's what got them. That's what took. I mean, you know, I know you want to blame the wife because she was trying to help, and she did seem to be a bit
Wives,
of a nuisance.
don't help.
But I'm gonna say I did notice he was really struggling to turn that luggage cart. He like the doors opened and he had to turn it, and I was
Oh,
like,
no,
buddy,
no.
no, buddy, you don't.
You
turn
got to
it now."
understand the square
And
footage of
that's-
that room, the circumference of the turn. It's not going to happen.
And that's where the tipping happened because
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
obviously on the wrong.
He's also running over his own kids with that fucking thing. No. Of course his wife tried to help. You know why his wife started to help? Because she's like, this fucking guy doesn't know what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I better step in here.
No, and that's what happened with the tipping is because he was like trying to force the turn. And I mean, I know I don't have experience with luggage carts, but I have experience with grocery carts. So even I know, you know, they only turn a certain way,
Yeah.
certain pressure, certain radius, and you got to have that shit dialed in, lined up before the elevator doors open. Otherwise, you end up stress farting, and it's really gross for everyone that comes in the elevator after you.
So not only to delay you to get on that elevator, they also just shit it up for you. So yeah,
Yeah.
big fail
Yeah.
from the Smith family from Tacoma.
You know, it's funny. Like the last 2 years, we were just so worried about breathing each other's COVID germs, and it's like now that for me anyway, for right now, that worry is gone. Because I had COVID, so I heard I'm good for about 3 months. So that worry is gone, and now it's like I can return to just the natural worries of now. And now I'm smelling people's farts. You know what I mean? Like I didn't worry about smelling people's farts for 2 years. But now, like, it's a return to normalcy, and I'm just like, guys, please don't fart in the fucking elevator.
You know, I don't think he meant to. He just ran into a stressful
Elevators,
situation.
they don't get fresh air. I mean, you and I could go in that same elevator an hour from now, and that fart will still be lingering around
Well, we'll take a different elevator. Or we'll take the stairs. I'll go down 20 fucking floors on the stairs.
to avoid the farts.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right. So that's how I got your Diet Coke.
Thank you. You went through a lot. Now, I thought you were going to tell me that you ran into a homeless fucker because last night we went to go to Salt and
No.
Straw in Seattle. And we went into a gauntlet of homeless assholes, and we were not psyched about it. And it was like, hey, Seattle, let's help the Chamber of Commerce around here. Big fail for the Kriders. We showed up. We were looking to walk around. We're going to do some drinking. We're going to go to some restaurants. We're going to hit our favorite ice cream in the planet, Salt and Straw, which is only in some key U.S. cities.
Yeah.
So we're like, here we go, walking along. Sun is setting, and then, okay, one homeless gentleman, fine. Okay, a homeless lady over here, fine. But then it's just like trash and shit. And maybe we're in the wrong part of town. I don't think we were. But that's a bummer, Seattle. You guys fucked this up. You failed.
It's not really Seattle. It's America. I mean, there's just homeless people everywhere.
Yeah, but it seemed like they were concentrated heavily in this particular town.
No, that's true. That's true. San
And
Francisco,
look, San
Seattle.
Francisco's our city. We know that there's shitty parts of San Francisco.
Yeah.
There's a lot of homeless problem. We're not fucking waving our flag like we have all the answers.
Maybe
But they certainly aren't doing it right in Seattle.
Maybe we just were in. I mean, like, if you went into like the Tenderloin in San Francisco, or if you just got a glimpse of the outskirts of the Tenderloin, you would feel like we felt like maybe we need to give Seattle like maybe we were in Seattle's Tenderloin.
Yeah, no, we'll be out. We'll be out on foot today, and we'll do our best shot. We're going to avoid that one section because it wasn't good. So we ended up having to get into Uber.
Oh God, I hate Ubers.
So yeah, that sucked. So ultimately, we had 2 Ubers. One smelled like vomit.
Yeah.
And one guy had the direct opposite of sleep apnea. He had awake apnea. He was snoring while awake and driving. It was fucking scary.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to die.
It was gross.
Yeah, you hate Ubers.
I do.
But no, nothing against the people who drive Ubers
driving,
in that economy, but it's just gross and stuff.
He was like, that's how he breathed. I mean, he took mouth breathing to like a whole new level.
I just want the folks who own Salt and Straw to know.
That's how hard we were.
Damn, your ice cream is good. We went through a lot of shit.
Oh, also
to get Salt and Straw's ice cream last night.
$15 Uber rides. So that was a $30 ice cream trip. That's how good it is.
It is good.
Now, I'm not complaining about the $30, y'all. I would have paid $35. I would have paid $55 because that's how good this ice cream is. So, Salt and Straw. It's in the Seattle area, LA, San Diego,
San
Francisco,
Anaheim.
There's some, Anaheim and downtown Disney.
Yep.
I believe there's one in like San Jose, Palo Alto area.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So right now, mostly
I haven't been to that one. I've been to
areas.
almost every one you listed except for San Jose.
But outside of California, you can check out a couple locations in the Seattle area.
Oh, a couple locations here?
Yeah.
Oh, I assume they only had one.
No, there's like 3.
What?
I know.
Now I got to go to 2 more today.
Should we go to all 3? I know. One of them is like
Probably.
Seattle area. It's like a 17-mile drive.
Oh, no. That's a long Uber drive.
That's a long Uber. I
We're
can't
not doing
listen
that.
to a mouth breather for that long.
No, you cannot. So I guess we got to get to a story here. The story is called A Hairy Situation, published April 27, 2010 in the Santa Maria Sun, part of the Man Overboard series. It is pretty accurate to what really went down that day.
I'm going to say a couple things. One, I don't remember this. I don't. Now, I'm not questioning its truthfulness or authenticity. I don't remember it, but in the same sense, I'm sure it happened because I truly believe that every female on the planet has their own personal story of that time they cut their bangs. It's a rite of passage.
Got it.
You know, and then every mother of a child, therefore, would also have the story of the day their daughter decided to cut their own bangs or their sons. But yeah, I mean, I remember cutting my own hair.
Was it disastrous?
Well, I learned my lesson. I don't want to say that I'm like an advanced learner or an accelerated learner, but what I did.
You do have a very high IQ, though.
Is I cut a lot of my Barbie's hair. I did a lot of experimenting with hair cutting on my Barbie.
Perfect.
So it's not that I practiced and that I was perfect. It was more that I kind of learned that I was not a hairdresser, and I learned that taking scissors to hair has disastrous results. Like the favorite Barbie you got for Christmas now is a piece of shit and you fucking hate her. And she's a constant reminder of your own failure as a hairdresser. So I ruined a good amount of Barbies with scissors. Don't do it. Don't put scissors to hair.
Don't.
You will look
it
like
will not.
shit.
Barbie always looked worse for the wear.
Yeah. Now later, when I had my own like haircut.
So is that like a doll you could buy? Cut your own bangs, Barbie?
No, we should.
That's a funny fucking doll, though.
We should market that. Yeah. When I say that every woman has had experience like fucking up her own hair and her own bangs, you know, Addy did it at fifth grade. I learned early, like, don't do it. But it seems like I forgot those lessons. So when I think of my
I think I saw you do it in like your 30s.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is literally it was like 3 weeks ago when when I saw a couple of strands hanging a little low and I like that blunt cut, took scissors to them, and every single time I do it, I'm like, this is regrettable.
Fail. A big fail.
I don't remember our little princess doing this, but I'm not saying that means that it is fake because I know very much that it is real, and I know her and I know you and I know me, and so there's just no way that you could have captured us so perfectly unless it was 100%.
I agree. The interaction between you and her was spot on for sure, and the interaction at the end with her trying to get something for it was spot on. So I'm like, this is not some made up shit. This had to have happened.
The reason that I found this particular story so funny today, or so timely today. I mean, it would have been funny yesterday. It would have been funny a month ago, but today it was just timely. And it's because she was in 5th grade. She's fucking with her hair. It becomes my problem, right?
Yes.
She's almost 23. Nothing has changed. What were we talking about this morning? She wants to move to LA.
Yes.
She needs to save money. What did she do yesterday?
She went and got her hair done at a very expensive place.
Yeah. The bitch pays, and you know, maybe this is because she fucked up her bangs in 5th grade, but she pays like $600. Yeah, y'all, you did not hear me wrong. Do not rewind it. It's $600. A 22-year-old goes and gets her hair done to the tune of $600.
Don't forget, she also gets her nails done and she does her lips. And
I haven't.
She has the most expensive makeup you can buy. But she is
haven't
an entertainer.
spent-
She's a stand-up comic. She's got to look good.
I haven't spent $600 on my hair, a grand total, in the last 5 years. If you took every receipt from every time I got my hair done and added it, in 5 years, it wouldn't even total.
If you added up
$600.
all the fucking MLB hats I've bought, it's still not $600. Those things are expensive.
True. So her plans are, and dare we say anything
I don't think
negative
boughten
about
is a
it.
word.
She's
Purchased.
boughten. She's boughten. She's planning on moving to LA August 1st. Yeah. Her rent will be $1,100. She has no job. And she just spent half of her rent on her hair yesterday.
Sounds like a successful start to a comic career. She will be a comedian. See Addy Krider doing comedy or bringing you a plate of wings somewhere soon in the Los Angeles area.
And when she brings you the wings, please tip her well, because she spent all of her rent money on her
Oh, by the way,
gorgeous.
That order
red
will be wrong.
extensions.
That will not be the right wings you ordered, and she will accept no criticism for that.
Then she says this. I love
She'll
it.
say this. She'll be like, "Hey, I'm having a bad day, okay? Can you just please sympathize with me and eat the wings I
Aren't-
brought you?"
Don't I deserve to just have a bad day? Aren't I entitled to just a bad day sometimes? Okay, no, this is
Wings are wings.
what I love. So her hair is beautiful. I will say that. It's like Ariel. It's like the color of the Little Mermaid Ariel. It's this very vibrant, beautiful red. She's got extensions, so it's really long.
Human hair
It's-
extensions, by
yeah.
the way.
It's very, very, very pretty. That's why it costs $600. But I say to her, honey, $600 is it's of so much money. Like you cannot afford that. And then this is what she said. Well, red is one of the hardest colors to maintain. Like, I can't help it that red is so hard to maintain. And I'm like, oh, you can't help it. You can choose another fucking color.
Or just the color that you were born
yeah,
with.
there's the color that you were born with.
Shitty dishwater brown blonde
I
crap.
can't help it that it's so hard to maintain. Yeah, you can. Change the fucking color.
Hey, everybody, if you have a zillennial child, you understand what we're talking about. If you don't, well, you're probably appalled at some of our parenting choices. But listen, man, you had to be there to understand how it went down.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you heard the story today about the Big Bang Theory. And it's some crazy shit. I'll segue to another story about Seattle. So we've been here before. And when we were here, I was at a particular weight. It was the apogee of my weight gain. We call it the fattest I've ever been. So then it became coined Seattle fat. So we're like, how fat am I? I'm like, man, am I Seattle fat again? How fucking fat did I get?
Hey,
so
you know
thanks
what?
for that.
You know what? And okay, it is kind of mean that we say Seattle fat. But look at it. You were only really fat one time. So it stands out and it got its own descriptor.
I don't think that's to be true at all.
What if you were like me, where we don't even have a descriptor because I was just fat all the time? We're just
we just use the decades.
Exactly.
You're from 2000 to 2020 fat?
That's what I'm saying.
Those 2 decades spanned.
Or I was going to say ages. Like, oh, like in your 20s and 30s kind of fat?
20s, 30s, 40s. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Seattle fat.
Seattle fat. So it's not,
so uncool.
It's not.
But it was my fattest.
Yeah.
And I've seen pictures from that trip.
I don't necessarily know. Like, I bet you, because back then you weren't really weighing. I bet you, like pound for pound, there's probably been other times that you weighed that much. There was something about the way you were carrying your weight then.
Like a bowling ball.
It was. You had like a bowling ball in your gut. You were carrying it so.
I was full blown
oddly.
dad bod.
Yeah. No, you were 9 months pregnant mom bod. Like you.
I was.
It was. And it was just hard and.
Just full of bread.
Yeah. And then you were injured. You would like hurt your back
Because I was a fat piece of shit.
You're like falling.
No, I don't want to make
You'd
it
like-
sound like I was injured, like I'm some sort of triathlete and I had
No,
tried to
you
jump
had, like-
over a gorge.
You had like fallen.
No. Do you know how I got hurt? I had
I do know
two.
this.
Our son Gus was graduating from high school, and I had two outdoor chairs that stacked together.
Plastic ones.
Yeah, and I was just
not
trying,
heavy.
I was they're lightweight. I was trying to separate the two, so I leaned over and I was like shaky, and just totally threw my fucking back out
Because when you
right before a
when you
graduation
did that-
party.
When you did that lean over, you had all of the weight of a 27-pound bowling ball like hanging from like your spine.
No, listen, I know that now. Now that I go to Orange Theory and I have lost 32 pounds, if I was to do certain exercises and then pick up a 32-pound barbell and hold it by my gut and do it, I'm like, well, no wonder when I first got here, I fucking used to throw up in the parking lot and wanted to fucking die and pass out going home. I was carrying 32 pounds at my navel. Shit is hard.
So when you were here in Seattle, because you had hurt your back, you had, and this was 7 years ago. So this was after everyone had kind of gone through the opioid crisis, but before our doctor had heard about the opioid crisis.
Yes.
So-
I got a great prescription, y'all.
Yeah, so this was 7 years ago, and I think you were like rocking Norco, which
I was.
I can't believe you just went to the doctor and you're like, my back hurts.
I'm like, I was trying to separate two chairs. I need pills.
And
He's like,
he's-
here's a fucking huge bottle of Norco.
Norco. Yeah. So you came here fatter than you've ever been. You're on Norco,
And Corona. I would do Norco and Corona.
and you don't handle your pharmaceuticals well. You don't come down well off of them. You get more groggy. You don't handle.
It's
your
true.
pharmaceuticals.
I don't. That's a true thing. Drugs
And
are
you
not
don't-
my thing.
you don't handle-
drugs fuck me up.
You don't
I
handle
don't do drugs.
sedation well. Like, you go in for a surgery and a procedure that's supposed to take 2 hours, and it's like 3 days later, and the doctor's like, I still can't release him because he won't stop fucking puking because he's a pussy and he couldn't take sedation. Like, you really, really, really struggle with anesthesia.
I'm quite a ball sack, y'all.
You're on Norco, and instead of just, I don't know, I guess we were still young in our marriage. We hadn't fucking figured shit out yet. Because instead of just saying like, you're gonna party on Norco, I'm gonna party on Corona. Is like, let's take Seattle at large. I was like, well, no, you gotta drink with me. So you're drinking on top of the Norco. You were a mess, and I just didn't see it. I look back at the pictures and I didn't see it. I was just like, come on, fat man.
Let's go.
Let's go. Come on. Like, we have a lot
Up
of
the hill.
city
Let's
to
walk up
see.
Capitol Hill. I'm
Yeah.
like, hee.
And then you
I
had
don't want to be like a buzzkill. I'm like, no, I'm fine. Is it time to take another pill yet? Is it 2:00? Because I get to take a pill at 2:00.
Then you had what we
You also
know
can't.
now.
You can't take a shit. What we don't realize this is that the reason I had a really like a stomach, it was full of bread and poo.
Again, you're
Because
right.
when you
I'm just
when you take
seeing that for the
Norco,
very
you
first
don't
time.
take a shit.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like just fucking stopped up with fucking totally constipated, high on Norco and Corona, fat as fuck. I had my first vertigo moment. We didn't even know what it was.
What we know now is like a hypertensive episode. You had your first one, and we
indicator.
we didn't know.
I was walking up a hill to a brewery. I'm like, I don't know what's going on with me, man. I'm kind of dizzy. I don't know. This is kind of weird.
Oh, and you were like,
I'm
oh,
about to have a heart attack. I'm jaundiced.
you were yellow. You were sweating profusely. Like, you were like, I tried to like comfort you, like, oh, I love you, and I was just like, oh God, you're clammy. You're sweaty.
How
And-
could you fuck that guy?
I didn't, dude. That's what I remember is you put the 32-pound bowling ball on me, and I was like, we're done, dude. I know we're on vacation. I know you got a hotel room, but no, I can't
Get
bear
off of me.
I cannot bear that weight, sir.
For the record, it was still hard as a rock.
Yeah. Hidden underneath.
I mean,
that
yeah, you
bottle.
couldn't really feel it because I had a bowling ball on top of it, but it was still hard. Even on Norco and fucking constipated and Corona, that shit was still hard. On the way back from that trip, we got pulled over by the California Highway Patrol. This is how fucked up I was. You're driving.
We were 18 years in. We knew each other pretty well. And now I feel like 7 years later, like a disproportional amount of growth and learning about each other. Because now I'm just like, dude, like we were virtually strangers. Like I had no idea what was going on with you. You know what I mean? Where now I'm just like, it's 8:00. Have you taken your blood pressure med? Like now I'm so much more in tune with your health and
Well, a couple trips in the ambulance will get you in tune with that.
that was days after our son's graduation. So
Yeah.
we have done a lot of growth because we finally shed these other two
These little assholes.
Those two had been bleeding me dry like two vampires. Emotionally. For 18 fucking
We
years.
traded those two little assholes in for two fucking rescue dogs who are now bleeding us dry.
But this is why I couldn't see.
They're more expensive than the fucking kids were.
This is why I couldn't see that my own husband was dying in front of me because I was just so emotionally drained from the kids. So now, 7 years later, my eyes are wide. Like these curtains have been pulled. My eyes are wide open and more in tune with you because I no longer have these little fucking vampires sucking me dry. They're just calling me once a day.
Last night.
Okay, so
emotional baggage.
Yesterday, I heard from both of them.
And you know what I did last night? I did exactly what I did in the second story. I played possum and I faked like I was asleep.
You did.
That's my move.
You did. Yeah.
I heard that phone call. Addie was FaceTiming you. I could hear it in her voice. I was like, I'm asleep. I'm fucking out. I'm not doing this.
Yeah. So I did. I heard from both of our kids yesterday. Anyways, now when I think like, holy fucking shit, you let me drive us home from Seattle.
If we've never talked about this before, I do the driving.
Oh,
I'm a fucking race car driver. I'm also a California Highway Patrol officer, which means I drive.
You
always
have to be on your deathbed to relinquish the wheel to me. And I think you were on your deathbed.
No, I fucking was. Neither one of us knew it. I knew enough to say, like, you go ahead and take the wheel.
It was like an 11-hour day, too. I know that because it just popped up on a Facebook memory that I had posted, like, Rob let me drive for 11 hours today.
Yay, look at me.
He must be dying.
He must be really high on Norco.
Laugh my ass off, funny face. So, yes, I got pulled over for speeding.
Deservedly. And a very professional, sharp-looking California Highway Patrol officer doing his job came on up to the passenger side. And I rolled the window down. And he's like, stop for your speeding. I'm like, no problem. So I'm trying to get out the registration insurance, which I know I put in the glove box. But as I open your glove box, I find all kinds of other treasures. I don't realize that when I open up my wife's glove box in front of a highway patrolman, I'm going to just get a fucking lap full of trash. Just fucking like, oh,
now
fuck.
Okay, what's hilarious about this is that it was the summertime. So I'm a teacher. The school year had ended. So I have no papers to grade. I have anything that's been graded. Those students have already
gotten a C.
They've already graduated away from me. They're on to the next year. I have a new batch of students coming I haven't met yet. But basically, I have no obligations, no chores, no homework, no papers to grade. You open that glove box and 100 math papers.
A semester's worth of ungraded math tests
just
pop
fall out onto
Now,
your
it's not really good for gas mileage. You just take 50 pounds worth of fucking ungraded math tests up and down the fucking California coast to Oregon and Seattle. All these tests fall out. And I'm trying to tell the guy, like, hey, bro, good to see you. I'm giving the nod, like, hey, we're brothers.
You handed him.
I did not hand him.
I'm the driver. And he needs to see the driver's license, and he needs to see the registration. So I give him my license. You're looking for the registration in the sea of math papers that has come out of the glove box. In the meantime, you handed him your business card.
No, that would be inappropriate.
Yeah, okay.
Because to use my position for advantage would be inappropriate. My business card fell out.
Oh, it fell out.
It fell out of the glove box.
No, it didn't. It fell out of your hand.
No, it fell out.
It fell out of your wallet.
And I was a lieutenant at the time.
In your hand. Okay, it fell out of your wallet into your hand, and then it fell out of your hand.
No, that would be inappropriate. I opened the glove box. One of my business cards, which I strategically put in the glove box,
came out with all the math papers.
Now, I had to move through all the math papers to make sure he saw it, but it did fall out.
He takes your accidentally exposed card.
Yes.
I love this. And he goes, oh, you're a lieutenant of the Highway Patrol. And then he basically just dismisses you and throws your business card back at you. And it's just like the most dismissive gesture ever. He's just like, I don't give a shit.
Fucking lieutenants.
So then he picks up one of the papers and he looks at it and he looks at me and he goes, are you a teacher? And I said, yes, I am. And he said, well, you know what? I'm going to let you off with a warning today. You're about, 10 miles over the speed limit. I just want you to get there safely. I'm going to let you off with a warning. And then he looks at you and he says, not because I like lieutenants. It's because I like school teachers.
He did do that.
And he was like, thank you, ma'am, for the work that you do. I need you to get home safely. Please slow down. And then he was just like, Lieutenant.
Fuck you, sir.
Fuck you, sir. You look like a fat,
he's like,
sickly
you
piece
look
of shit.
Hi. I'm glad you're not driving because that's a whole kind of complicated situation. I don't need to arrest a lieutenant of Highway Patrol.
You're just laying here all sweaty and clammy
He's like,
and fat.
I'm surprised the glove box could even open because your gut is so big, you fat fucking piece of shit. So that officer did us all a favor. He's like, look, I'm not going to give you a break. I'm not going to say that you gave me this business card because it did fall out of the glove box because that would be inappropriate. We all know that we don't roll like that ethically. We're on fucking body cam footage. So everyone's above reproach and go on your way. Now, I like it when you said that you were going 10 miles over the speed limit.
I was.
'Cause we know that's not fucking true. You were definitively 7 miles over the speed limit. You've been caught going over 100 in a minivan
No,
with our
bullshit.
fucking
Okay,
children.
that's an exaggeration.
The
That is
airplane
gross.
got you 100.
No, he got me at 90.
And did you get a ticket?
He got me at 90.
How many tickets have you gotten, school teacher, since you married a highway patrolman?
Well, wait, since I married a highway patrolman or since I became a school teacher?
Either one.
Or since I just started sucking dick on the side? No, I'm just kidding.
That was the PD or the sheriff's.
Anyways, I was going 10 miles over the speed limit. The speed limit was 80, and I was going 90.
First of all, the speed limit was not 80.
Well, we were in Oregon.
It's not 80.
And it was a California highway patrolman.
If you're in
that pulled us
Texas,
over.
the speed limit is 80. In Oregon, it is not 80. And it's not 80 in Washington. And we were not in Oregon because it was a California Highway Patrol officer.
I know, I just said that.
Are you a
just
school
said
teacher
that.
or not?
I just said that.
All right.
That was part of the joke.
All right. Well, it's a funny joke. Listen, y'all, thank you for hanging out with us here today
Yes.
on a little trip down memory lane and learning about a term called Seattle Fat. All right. Let's raise a glass, everybody. Cheers.
And that was Last Call. You did it. You survived an episode of Stories and Cocktails. But did Rob or Sarah's liver survive the show? I don't know. Tune into the next episode to find out, to enjoy some more stories and some more cocktails. By the way, if you want to support the debauchery of the show, then buy the host their next round by Venmoing a couple of gold doubloons at Stories and Cocktails. Back in the day, a gold doubloon was only 4 Spanish dollars. Who knew? Well, folks, I'll be right here behind the bar, cleaning the glassware and awaiting your return to the Stories and Cocktails podcast. Cheerio, friends.
If you enjoy hearing Rob Krider's different humor columns here on the Stories and Cocktails podcast, then I promise you will love his novel, Cadet Blues. Cadet Blues is Rob's hilarious tell-all about desperately trying to survive the shock and awe boot camp-style training at the California Highway Patrol Academy. People from all different walks of life have come to love this book because Cadet Blues is simply a crazy good read. Heartfelt, inspiring, and damn funny. It's available in paperback through Amazon, eBay, or cadetblues.com, where you can get free shipping and a personalized autographed book. Or you can download a digital copy of Cadet Blues from Amazon Kindle, Barnes & Noble Nook, or Apple iBooks. Do yourself a favor and check out the novel, Cadet Blues.